Okay, so on the original part I have to retread this, or the inside one, and for U and F. So I found a UNC. Let's see, does that threading okay? That's good. I'm going to go for a slightly longer bolt in this one, so I can put a nut on the end of it if I have to. Probably won't have to. The thread's very bad in this one. And this is the one on the front. So that is good. Lovely. Okay, so there's a bit of cutting to do here off there, so I get the scissors will do that. This lad here is for the decompression rod. It's not fitted to this tractor. A lot of time if an engine came out, if you just cut them off because you're left with it poking out. Lovely, and we can tidy up here as well because this is going to meet up with the rocker shaft, rocker cover gasket. So no big deal, just tidy it up a little bit. Leave too much on anyway, that's what we will do. Let's cut out that last little out hole there, and we should be good to go. I'm running a bit low on Indian head, all of a sudden just realised that. So that's a little bit of a nuisance. We'll see how much Indian head I have. I should have enough to do the job anyway. The knife is getting a little bit blunt. Needs a new blade. Okay, so that is looking good, if I may say so myself. So what I do have, my dad gave me, I don't like using it, I don't use this stuff at all, but he says just throw it in the drawer in case you need it. I don't have enough Indian head because this can be a pig to seal. I will revert to that horrible stuff that shouldn't really be used, but if I'm stuck I will, because I can't afford to keep taking this part on and off. So what we will do first is I'm going to get the nuts and bolts, and if you remember, if you were watching the earlier videos, you've seen that the threads on these were kind of full of kind of aluminium like that. So that's not ideal. So of course, very simple, into the, now one of these is shorter than the rest. Two of them are shorter, so we'll just have a look and see on the casting here, is there a thinner place? It doesn't seem to be. Is there? There is. In there is thinner. Doesn't have this big heavy lad there on it, and in there is thinner, so that's where they go. Brilliant. So I'll tidy up these. Just like that, and I'll come back when they're all done. Because of the amount of that dirty kind of aluminium stuff that was on the bolts, I'm just going to make sure that they're cleaned out. So I use this lad here. Make sure there's nothing in the, I suppose it helps if I turned on the switch. Just make sure there's nothing in the threads there, so we get a, when we're tightening, we can get a proper feel of what's going on. Seem to be clear. Okay, so these are shallower than others. Okay, look, probably did absolutely nothing, but it could have. So we'll leave the camera here actually. I'm just going to do a little test fit and see how this fits on without having nuts and bolts in it. without a gasket as well. So let's see if I'm right in saying there usually is a bit of filing to be done, and there is. There is on this one as well. So we'll try and put a bolt in, for example. I might get one on one side. We won't even get one fully. There's one there. We're not going to get one below. You can just see underneath there. So it does need a bit of filing. And there as well, sitting on that. Okay, so we'll get a marker and just mark where it needs to be filed. And that Tom brass sauce, Ash. I'm grand and happy with it other than that. Okay, and I'm looking underneath there, there's a bit to come off. There'll be a bit to come off as well. It's going to be a bit of to and fro, as they say, over and back, filing and smiling, and yeah, so there's a bit to come off in there. We're going to have to just take a little bit out of there because it's going to be easier to file this than it is in there. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm just thinking how I'm going to do it. I have an idea. The grinder on the Dremel is the best. It's the least aggressive. You can control a lot more. If I got an angle grinder at that, even with the flap disc, I'd end up taking too much off. Not that it's going to make a whole lot of difference. I'm not going to end up going the whole way through, obviously, or you'd hope. But I think that taking my time with the Dremel and just nipping and keep. I can even do it here. I'll set up my trolley here and I'll have it close at hand, over and back until I get it right. So we'll set up and we'll give you a look at what I have to do. A few minutes of messing there. There's the Dremel and files and all of that, and we have something like that. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You've got to lift that up a bit there because it sits on that. So I just want to make sure I can see all the holes. It has to be down far enough so that it's not getting in the way of the rocker cover. Otherwise you're going to have a leak. I might have to just take the guide hair more off it. Straight away you can see these holes sideways wide. They're going to need a bit of messing with. So that one's going to need messing with. I remember having to do that before. Some of them will be okay and some others will need a bit of modification. I think this one up here will need a bit of modification as well. Yeah, so that one needs modification. This side here needs to come over here. So that's okay. That one's good. That one's good. That one's needs a little bit of modification just down here. That corner there. And then this one over here needs a little bit of modification there in that corner. A rub of a round file will be enough. Now, question to be answered. Is it low enough there? You don't want to sit on that rocker cover because this rocker cover stands proud anyway. So we need to take a small bit more off. But we're just about there. I can see where we need to take it off and all. Yeah, I'll do that. So we're just about there. Look, it's half an hour messing that you just have to do. Right, so we'll do that and we'll come back. I thought this was a new one. It's not. Take it. Right, we'll get the old one, put it back on. It should be fine. Yeah, this will be fine. So maybe being a bit too fussy. just a little bit stretched there in places, you know. I'll have another look there before too long. If I find one, I'll just replace it. It can be done any time, it's not hard to do. Push it on too far actually, because it's going to catch everything. Just enough. Okay. Right. Sure it clears the fuel tank anyway. Twist it whatever way you have to do that. That's the bypass hose. That's the way the water goes until the thermostat opens. Okay, that should do it. Right, so next bit is our thermostat housing. So I'm just going to give that a quick rub on the sandpaper like I always do, just to make sure it's clean. Bit of Indian head, gasket, and drop in the thermostat housing, and hopefully then we'll be ready to go. Now we'll have to find out whether this tank has a leak. It looks like there's a weep under there, yeah. So we'll be taking them off and we'll be doing that. Empty this stuff on now. Yeah, it's all squares out, doesn't matter. Because it would be bad now if it would leak because we didn't put enough of it on. Right, so that's that. I think the thermostat goes in then. Should be a nice snug fit there. And that it is. Gasket then, I presume. It goes over it. It's a little bit. It's a little, not exactly the best fit in the world. See, this is the difference now. This could be the difference between leaking and not leaking. It's an awful step there. Like there is a place for that. That is for the thermostat to fit down into. I just would prefer this to fit around the thermostat a bit better. Maybe it's designed to seal it. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've given this another quick rub. These got it sealed this time now. It takes a while even to clean this bloody Indian head off, so I really would prefer just now to seal and be done with it. Everything is a freshly machined surface and I've given it flattening now as well, so there we go. We have our bolt in, we have our washer on top, we have our thermostat housing in, we're not forgetting anything. Tried that in nice and handy there so we're not upsetting the gasket. Okay, I have the bolt for the back. threads feel perfect. Okay, so let's get a spanner, the front one. Everything looks perfect. Gaskets, very good quality. The secret with this is not to over tighten them the first time, you know, so I just want to go realistic. I just want to tighten it just right, like. You can always tighten them up, but it's just, I find if you over tighten them, you're just going to, they really needed a bolt each side. If they had that, they wouldn't be problematic. Okay, so that is that, finally. We have new bottom holes as well in those parts, so I think since we are here, we may as well probably just fit the radiator and just seize that leaking. It shouldn't be leaking anyway until it's running, but the big test for it, of course, is to get it up to temperature and that thermostat to open. So get it up to 82 degrees. So look, we'll throw on the radiator, throw on the new pipe on the radiator, and we'll see how it goes. New bottom hose sitting in place there. Get the hose clamp there where we want it to be. A bit of Indian head on there as well. Does no harm at all in the world. I'll take that off. I like the hose clamps, the screw heads to be facing there in a way I can get to them handy. Okay, that'll be okay there. So I need to get this top hose pipe on. Okay, that looks good. Take out the bracket, move the clamps to where they have to be. Okay, underneath how we're looking. You have to be careful of the bottom. Solid metal pipe on this because these aftermarket ones, the front axle hits it from that side. So that's never good. So we do have to be careful about positioning that. You cannot push it in fully, unfortunately, because it's already marked it, so make sure to space it out a bit as I'm tightening it. Okay, that's getting a good grip on it there. Lovely, so now we'll do our bottom hose pipe. Yeah, I just felt the one that was on it was just a bit too little bit stretched. This is a nice solid one. The thermostat won't be long testing it. Now, just one thing, will that affect the bonnet? It will. Seeing these hitting off bonnets there, getting caught in everything, so I'll try and get it off. I'm going to put them under where it won't affect that. Get everything on, pushed on fairly well is the main thing. Get him under there. Again, not affect anything. Right on. That's pushed in nicely there. Take off the extension. Sure looks good now having the radiator back on it. When you take a bonnet and radiator off these tractors, they really do look a lot smaller. So let's give these last few a nip just to make sure everything is good, snug. Hopefully we won't be seeing any fluid leaking at all. Okay, so I'm going to go and throw some, just going to put in the coolant into it again, make sure our tap is turned off, and hopefully now that'll be dry. And what I'll do then is I'll turn it around, so I'll be doing the other side for the brakes, or I'll turn it around and then I'll take off the tank, put it up on the bench there, see where it's leaking, clean it down, put a bit of JB valve there. I have new JB valve there, that should do it. And then when we have this wheel facing there, it's more light, we'll be able to start going on the brakes. May as well slap this wheel on. We have everything done. This side, it's only going to be adjustments, we don't need the wheel off for that. And yeah, we can do that. That's our nice new wheel nut, wheel stud there. Lovely. So that's just full of coolant there, so there was a massive coolant leak because I forgot to put the, what you may call it in it, the brass blank for the thermostat, for the temperature gauge if they don't have. Forgot to put that in, put it in, sealing washer, and it looks good so far. Then the Indian head is squeezed out all around the thermostat housing, all around, so that's what we want to see. So yeah, I'll throw this wheel on. And we'll see, might give it a quick start then and see.